A lot of you probably know that I play on Sulis, which is known for its competition between Toxic and SoldiersofJah. However, a new clan called Skyfall has recently emerged on the server, forming an alliance with Jah. As a member of Toxic, I've enjoyed the more competitive lock battles, even if it means that we win a bit less gear. Today, I thought it would be a good idea to show you one of the recent Gelebron lock battles we had against Jah and Skyfall, since I happen to be in the lock group for it. To preface, the intention of this video isn't to create any type of drama. I just thought it would make for an entertaining video since both sides had pretty strong lock groups. First, let's take a look at each side's lock group. I'm going to rank the tunes from each lock group from strongest to weakest, starting with Toxic. Keep in mind that I'm not factoring in hot swaps or the skill of each player. Also, apologies if I don't get the competition's lock group 100% right, since I'm estimating it based on who I think their strongest tunes were. Before we start, I don't mean to offend anyone with these rankings. I'm just doing this for the purpose of helping the viewer to better understand the context behind this lock battle. Manny is ranked first in Toxic because she was our best rogue and overall she just has a very solid build. IP2K was, in my opinion, our strongest ranger at the raid due to her superior jewelry and pet. Aimer Z is third because his setup seems to be a little worse than IP2K, but still very strong. In case you're wondering, he has a full DG set, but for some reason he wasn't wearing it in that clip. KS Prince is quite strong as well, but the reason why he wasn't ranked higher is because he didn't have his full DG set at the time. Unfortunately, warriors aren't the best at Geli, so even though Killpop is one of our strongest warriors, he's ranked 5th. Badaboom is 6th, despite having a pretty decent setup, with 2 DG pieces, Cruel Barb's braces and BT ability rings. I ranked myself 7th because my gear is decent and I am a rogue, but I definitely can't compete with our top DPS. Enigma is 8th because even though I think his gear is overall better than mine, rogues are generally better than rangers at Geli. The competition had a ton of rangers, but I think Spoof is their strongest due to his DG aura and very high tier jewelry. Money Ranger is 2nd because even though he doesn't have a DG aura, I think he has the best jewelry out of all the rangers in Jah and Skyfall. Navi is ranked 3rd because she is a rogue and has a DG aura, but I think her jewelry could be a little better, and also she doesn't have a pet. Power Rangers is 4th because he's pretty strong as well. He has 3 DG pieces, a dino bow, and an apostate brace. Arathorn is 5th because even though his jewelry could be a little better, he does have a DG aura. Dolce is 6th even though his setup doesn't have any weaknesses. He has 2 DG pieces, solid rings and a level 6 dragon. As you can see, Mr. Tugs is using this bow and Ami for the skill they give before hot swapping to his actual bow and Ami. I managed to record his actual lock gear later on, and despite being ranked 7th, I would say he's fairly strong. Reese has 2 DG pieces even though I ranked him 8th, which shows just how strong their lock group was. Even though the lock groups were fairly evenly matched, I think that Toxic had a slight edge because our best tunes were a bit stronger than their best tunes. For example, even though Manny and Spoof have roughly even gear, Manny has an advantage because she's a rogue. Jah and Skyfall's saving grace was the fact that all their tunes had at least a DG top, but I think that overall Toxic still had a gear advantage going into this lock battle. Keep in mind that this is just theoretical, and the actual result of the lock battle could be vastly different. Alright, now let's get into what we've all been waiting for, which is the lock battle itself. So as you can see, my group licked up in advance, and I'm not sure why I took so long to walk up to Geli there, that might have cost us a bit of DPS, to be honest. So here I put my barrows on my hotbar. Probably should have done this before we started the lock battle, but regardless, I pop a perfected barrow here, and I do my best not to die while DPSing down the boss. Unfortunately, I die here, so I'm forced to pop another perf, but it is what it is. So there we go. As you can see, we end up winning the lock battle, but it was pretty competitive in the end, as you can probably tell. Anyway, I'll let you enjoy the rest of this kill as I speed it up, and I'll be back when it dies.
Perceives all things conjoined, the past, the future, and the present. Everything flows, and all is connected. This eye is not merely seeing reality, it is touching the truth. There is nothing to fear.
So we managed to kill Geli with only a few hiccups here and there, and the drops weren't too bad either. I tried to make this video a bit more interesting for you guys, so let me know if you liked it. If you do enjoy my content, please consider subscribing, as I'm getting close to 100 subscribers, which would be amazing to reach. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.